You were not born by accident. You were not placed on this earth just to pay bills, scroll screens, and fade into a nameless crowd. You were born for a reason. You were born with a fire inside you, a spark that defies logic, that ignores statistics, that screams into the chaos, "I am here to become something great." That reason isn't something you find. It's something you remember. Because the truth is, you already know, you've always known. From the time you were a child, staring out windows and dreaming with your whole heart, you knew there was something more, something bigger than routine, something louder than fear. But over time, the world tried to tame you. It told you to be realistic, to fall in line, to lower your standards, to forget the fire and settle for the embers. But you are not a slave to comfort. You are not meant to exist in mediocrity. You are built to lead, to break limits, to set your soul on fire and light the world with it. You were born to rise, not to rot. So what happened? Somewhere along the way, the noise got louder than your intuition. The opinions of people who never built anything drowned out your own inner voice. The fear of failure, the ache of rejection, the weight of self. Doubt they wrapped around your vision like chains, and slowly you stopped acting like the person you were meant to become. But understand, this purpose doesn't disappear. It waits, it watches, it whispers to you in the quiet moments, in the stillness before sleep, in the ache behind your chest when you know you're meant for more. That whisper is your wake-up call. You were born for a reason, now act like it. You were born with mind, with will, with imagination. Look at the ones who changed the world. Edison, blind from the world's approval, kept inventing through failure after failure. He once said he didn't fail 10 zeros, 0 times. He simply found 10 zeros, 0 ways it didn't work. That's the spirit of someone who remembers why he's here. Lincoln was born into a one-room log cabin, buried in grief, defeat, depression. But he refused to let the story end where it started. He let adversity carve depth into his spirit, and in the end, he didn't just lead a nation, he redefined its soul. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. Think about that. They told a visionary he had no vision, but he didn't bow to critics. He built empires from cartoons, from mice, from nothing, because the purpose inside him was louder than the ridicule around him. You were born with that same breath in your lungs, the same creative force, the same divine spark that ignited every world changer that came before you. You just have to remember who you are, but remembering is not enough. Dreams without action are hallucinations. So act like it. Act like the universe crafted you with intention. Walk like your steps matter. Speak like your voice carries weight. Think like your thoughts are seeds, because they are. Every belief you plant becomes the forest you walk through. This is the mindset shift. You don't need permission. You need conviction. You don't need a map. You need movement. Most people are waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for support, waiting for clarity. But clarity does not come before movement. It comes from movement. You don't get confidence and then act. You act, and that's where confidence is born. The world rewards the bold, not the reckless, but the bold. The ones who bet on themselves even when the odds say no. The ones who show up even when their knees shake. The ones who rise every time they fall because they believe in something deeper than comfort. That belief, it's your birthright, and it's your responsibility. So how do you activate it? You start with vision. You create it like a sculptor staring at raw marble. You see the masterpiece in the chaos. You picture it so vividly that it begins to ache, not because it's far away, but because it's already yours, and you haven't stepped into it yet. See it, feel it, let it consume you. This is not fantasy. This is faith with structure. This is imagination with discipline. This is desire mixed with demand, because life does not respond to wishes. It responds to decisions, and your vision must be so clear, so undeniable, that every step you take bends the world toward it. But vision without purpose is like a ship without wind, and your purpose is not just about what you want, it's about who you become. Purpose gives your pain meaning. It gives your actions weight. It makes sacrifice sacred. And purpose is not hidden in the clouds. It's in what you love, what breaks your heart, what makes your blood race, what you die for. That's the same thing you're supposed to live for. When purpose is locked in, discipline becomes devotion. You stop waking up for comfort and start rising for cause. Discipline is not punishment, it's liberation. It is the iron spine of those who refuse to drift. The world tells you to chase motivation, to chase inspiration, to wait until you feel like it. But that's the lie that kills kings before their crowns are forged. Discipline is doing it when you don't feel like it. Showing up when it's uncomfortable, building when no one claps, working in silence, without applause, without attention, because your soul is tuned to a higher frequency. It's what Carnegie mastered when he built steel out of struggle. He didn't just amass wealth, he moved the infrastructure of civilization, not because he had an easy life, but because he had relentless purpose and unshakable habits. When you wake up each morning, do not ask, "What do I feel like doing?" Ask, "What needs to be done?" That shift alone can pull you from the darkness and set your course toward destiny. There's a war being waged inside every man and woman, a war between your old self and your potential self. The part of you that wants to stay safe versus the part of you that wants to rise. That war is won in the micro moments when you choose focus over distraction, growth over comfort, greatness over ease. Do not wait for motivation. Become the kind of person who motivates yourself. Build rituals so powerful they carry you through storm. Master your mornings, guard your mind like it's sacred ground, because it is. The thoughts you allow into your mind become the reality you live in. Let me say that again. What you tolerate mentally, you will experience physically. So stop rehearsing failure in your imagination. Stop predicting disappointment. That's borrowed suffering. That's a mindset of defeat. Instead, see it as done. See yourself already living at the level you're destined for. See it in such detail, with such clarity, that your current reality starts to feel foreign to you. That is not delusion, that is preparation. Your vision must become your standard, not your escape. And when it becomes your standard, you will start rejecting anything that doesn't align with it. Laziness will feel disgusting. Mediocrity will make you restless. Complaining will feel like poison in your mouth. Because when you finally believe you were born for a reason, when that belief roots itself deep in your bones, you stop settling for scraps. You stop chasing people. You stop begging life to treat you better. You command it through clarity, action, and endurance. You become the architect of your destiny, and destiny is shaped not in the grand moments, but in the thousands of small decisions no one sees. It's how you talk to yourself when you fail. It's what you do with the pain when life punches you in the gut. It's how you respond when nothing's going your way and every part of you wants to quit, but you don't. You get up, you breathe deep, and you advance anyway. That is how legacies are born. Let the world watch. Let them doubt. Let them say it can't be done. Let them laugh at your audacity. That laughter, that's just the echo of their own limitations, not yours. You are not here to be understood by everyone. You're here to be respected by the version of you that refused to give up. So move, build, take the next step. And then the next. Don't look too far ahead and don't look back. Just honor the mission every single day, because progress is built in inches, not miles, and purpose is not found in one perfect decision. It's forged in the fires of repeated effort over and over again. You will be tempted to quit. That's normal. But hear me when I say this: the deeper the struggle, the louder the comeback. Life will knock you down, but it will never be stronger than the human being who refuses to stay down. Fall if you must, cry if you have to, but get back up and act like it. Act like this matters because it does. Act like people are counting on you because they are. Act like the clock is ticking because it is. You don't have forever, you don't have unlimited tries, you have this one moment, and what you do with it will echo into everything that comes next. Now is not the time to hesitate, now is not the time to negotiate with fear. Now is not the time to ask the world for approval. Now is the time to move with power, to act with purpose, to live like someone who remembers you were born for a reason, and the world will not give you that reason. You must declare it. You must act as though the universe is waiting on you because it is. It doesn't respond to hesitation. It doesn't bend to wishful thinking. It bends to the will of those who move like they belong at the top. You don't need permission. You don't need a vote of confidence. You don't need the stars to align. You need one thing, an uncompromising decision that this life will not pass without you leaving a mark so deep. They feel it in history. And history only remembers the bold. You think Lincoln wasn't afraid when the weight of a divided nation sat on his shoulders. You think Edison didn't want to quit after the 1000th failure. You think Disney didn't doubt himself after being fired and told he had no imagination. They weren't superhuman. They were just like you, flesh, bone, doubt, fear, but they moved anyway. That's what separates the ones who are remembered from the ones who vanish in the fog of excuses. And now it's your turn. Not someday, now, because here's the truth. Your reason, your purpose, it's not something you discover. It's something you decide, and then you back it up with action so fierce it becomes unavoidable. You must live with the conviction that your life means something, and every hour wasted in fear, doubt, or laziness is an insult to the reason you were given breath. Clarity comes after movement, not before. So don't sit there waiting for certainty. You want lightning clarity. Start walking toward the storm. Walk toward resistance, toward difficulty, toward the thing you're avoiding. That's where your edge is. That's where your future is being carved. Purpose is not born in peace. It's forged in war, the war of doubt, the war of distractions, the war of temptation to stay small, to play safe, to shrink for comfort. But make no mistake, comfort is not love. Comfort is the sedative that kills your soul slowly. You were not built for easy. You were built for impact, and impact demands discomfort, demands risk, demands rejection, demands that you bleed for something that actually matters. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not dreams, they're maintenance plans for mediocrity. So raise your standards, hold yourself to the level you know you're capable of. Stop negotiating with your potential. Stop lowering the bar to fit your current mood. Instead, rise to meet your destiny like the world's waiting to crown you because it is. The future belongs to the unreasonable, the ones who don't wait to feel ready, the ones who build while bleeding, the ones who hold the vision even when everyone else goes blind. Let them laugh, let them doubt, let them mock your ambition. One day they will quote you. But they'll never understand the nights you cried in silence, the mornings you rose without applause, the pain you hid just to keep going. They won't see the scars beneath the armor, but you will, and you'll wear them like medals not of survival, but of domination. Every day is a test. Will you lead yourself or be led by fear? Will you honor the gift of life by building something with it? Or will you die with your greatness still trapped inside? The clock is ticking. And there is no next time. There is this time, so speak like someone with a message that matters. Move like someone the world cannot ignore. Live like your actions are a signal to every person watching that they can rise too. Because they are watching. Whether you believe it or not, there are people who will only believe in themselves after they see you do it first. So don't do it just for you. Do it for the people who haven't found their fire yet. Do it for the ones who think it's too late. Do it for the silent dreamers hiding in shadows. Be the proof. You were born for a reason, now act like it, so they can remember their reason too.